Hi, so have you heard about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan and how that's different from the PPP? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Hi, my name is Chris Passmore and I'm with CPA Corner. So what is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan? You may have also heard to it referred as the EIDL. Well, it's a supplemental financial assistance program that you may be eligible for in addition to what you had under the PPP. So we're going to talk about 5 key points of the EIDL and the program. So first, I want to talk about the EIDL loan and the EIDL advance. We're going to talk about the EIDL loan second, but first you can apply for what's called an EIDL advance. And this is a separate item from the EIDL loan. And what it is, it's $10,000 that you may be eligible for. It's roughly $1,000 per employee if you have less than 10 employees. But if you have more than 10 employees, it's $10,000. And that's basically a grant. That is a non-repayable $10,000 to your business if you've suffered hardship as a result of COVID-19. So that is immediate relief that you can apply for on the SBA website. So who's eligible for the EIDL loan and can you take advantage of this program? Well, first, you have to have had a business loss due to COVID-19. That is the beginning of all of this. If you have not had a loss as a result of COVID in the past months, maybe you were lucky enough to have a business that actually has done well in this environment, then you would not be eligible. But if you have been impacted by this and your company has had a drop in sales or other economic challenges, then you would be eligible for the EIDL program. Secondly, you have to be a small business as defined by the SBA, and that's generally meaning you have less than 500 employees. And then, well, what can you use this for? What can you use the Economic Injury Disaster Loan? Well, it's meant for payroll, accounts payable, other bills, and here's what's important. It can't be also items that were used and paid for by the PPP. So you basically can't double dip. I would argue that once your PPP proceeds have been used, that then afterwards you can still use the EIDL advance for those exact same types of expenses, but just chronologically after your PPP. A key point here to keep in mind is what it can't be used for. It cannot be used to replace lost sales, enhance profits, refinance existing debt, or fund expansions. For example, if you wanted to open up a new office in a different location, you could not use your EIDL loan proceeds to open up that new location. So how much? I guess that's probably where I should have started. How much is the EIDL? And how much can you have in a loan? Generally, you can get a loan up to $150,000. And that's a substantial amount. I can tell you right now, the EIDL program has been around before COVID-19. Prior to COVID-19, the potential loan amount was much higher, but due to the large volume of applications as a result of COVID-19, they have dropped that cap down to $150,000. But I still think that's a significant amount of money that could potentially help businesses during these hard times. And so now that you know you can take up to $150,000, what are the repayment terms? They're actually very generous. It's not quite as generous as the PPP, which we all know is ideally forgivable. But this is a loan at 3.75% and generally over 30 years. So again, 3.75% over 30 years. So that's a summary of the EIDL program. I'll highlight all of this information in the comments below. I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to speaking with you in my next video.